you struggle with being face guarded and shut down in games, then this video is exactly for you. Picture this, you start the game on fire. It seems like any shots you put up could go in, but then something happens. The other team decides to face guard you. They put the pestiest defender they have, and they are glued to you the entire game. And before you know it, quarters have passed by and the game has gone by and you've almost disappeared entirely. Me personally, I know this problem all too well, and I'm sure that plenty of other players have this same exact problem. So in this video, I'm gonna go over some things that you can start doing today to stop this from ever happening again. So before we get into this, I wanna talk about the two problems that you are probably facing right now, and it can either be one problem or it can be both of them combined. Most of the time, players that are elite shooters need a system. They need a coach that is drawing up plays for them, and they need a coach that is going to create scoring opportunities for them. I once had a coach that literally ran the entire offense through me. And during that season, I was pretty much unface guardable because every single game I knew I was gonna get shots and I knew that I was gonna get put in plenty of scoring situations. And that gave me confidence throughout the entire season that I knew I was gonna get shots. No matter how the defense guarded me, I knew I was gonna be put in scoring situations. And during that time, I was always moving. I was always coming off plays and different types of screens. And so if you notice yourself being very stagnant during a game and being very passive, then this might be your problem. But before we dive into solutions, let's get into problem number 2. And problem number 2 is that you are a one-dimensional player. Most of you watching this probably have this problem. Your whole entire life, you've been a shooter. And your whole entire life, you have identified yourself as a shooter. And when the defense takes that away from you, you don't know what to do next. You've neglected other parts of your game, like using the ball screen, using a DHO, creating shots on your own, and now it's coming back to haunt you. And this is a big problem because you can't always rely on your coach and your teammates to create shots and get scoring opportunities for you. You can't afford to let things outside of your control take away your ability to be a good basketball player. And this is a problem because you can't always rely on your system and your teammates to get you shots. A lot of times you're gonna have to create shots on your own and make plays happen on your own. You can't afford to just shut down because of factors outside of your control. And here's the harsh truth. If you're experiencing problem number 1, which is a poor system, teammates that aren't connected, there isn't much you can do. That's out of your control because your team is your team, your coach is your coach, and that's what you're stuck with for the rest of the season. However, we can completely solve problem number 1 by addressing problem number 2. If we can solve problem number 2, then it doesn't matter how bad our system is, how selfish our teammates are, we can still impact a basketball game. We no longer shut down because we aren't relying on our teammates and our coaches to get us shots. We now know how to make plays happen on our own and how to affect a basketball game. And so the solution to everything is going to be solving problem number 2. So let's get into what you guys came here for, which is solving problem number 2. And to teach you how to solve this, I'm going to use myself as the perfect example. Throughout my entire basketball career, I could shoot the cover off the ball. I was always a 40% three-point shooter and had some games where I would go for 7, 8, 9, even 10 three-pointers in one game. And this alone got me very far. My ability to shoot the basketball was the reason I earned a Division II scholarship and won back-to-back Player of the Year in my conference my junior and senior year of high school. However, I vividly remember moments where being face guarded and people taking away my ability to shoot happened in the worst moments possible. For example, my senior year of high school in the state championship game, from tip-off, there was a defender face guarding me the entire game. And I remember looking back on that game, I took 3 shots and only scored 2 points. And that was painful. That was not fun. And it was the first time that I realized that other than shooting the basketball, I didn't know what else I could do. Another example was my JUCO season. It was the first time that I wasn't in a system. It was the first time that I didn't have that many plays drawn up for me. And so a lot of times I was just standing around a majority of the games. It was the worst season I've ever had in my entire career. Looking back on it, I realized that there were 2 things that I should have done that whole entire time that I neglected throughout my whole entire basketball career. The first thing I needed to change was I needed to study more basketball. One reason why that's so important was because I was a late bloomer. I started playing basketball in 7th grade. And so there was so much about the game that I did not know. And I always neglected that. I played video games, I scrolled on my phone, I did all this stuff and completely neglected learning everything about the game that I currently did not know. And because of that, I always neglected learning everything there is about the ball screen, how to make proper reads off of DHO, how to create your own shot, how to use your body to create space, how to be crafty around the rim, etc., etc. And that would have been my blueprint because I avoided that and stayed in the gym, got up my 500 makes in the gun every single day, and I thought like that checked off the box. But there was so much that I still did not know about the game of basketball, and that was continuing to hold me back as a player. And now the second thing that I would have did, which piggybacks off of number one, is I would have put myself in more uncomfortable situations. For example, using ball screens and pickup, using more ball screens and practice, not being afraid of the process of looking stupid, of doing these new things and making mistakes and growing and learning. Instead, I never did that. I just avoided those things. I avoided those parts of my game that were still undeveloped. And that is the solution. It is learning all the stuff you do not know about the game, and you can find that from watching full, raw games on YouTube or getting the league pass, watching players create their own shot, watching players use a ball screen, watching players handle ball pressure in the pace that they play with. And whenever you do that, you can then practice that on your own. Whether you're playing pickup, whether you're in practice, whether you're playing with your buddies, it doesn't matter. You need to watch it and then you need to practice it on your own and develop these undeveloped parts about your game. And whenever you do that, you're gonna be a more complete player. You're gonna become a player that does not need to be hitting a bunch of three-point shots a game in order to have a good basketball game. For example, one of my clients, Frankie Denvier, started off this season shooting the worst he's ever shot from three. However, we spent so much time learning the game and teaching him how to use a ball screen, all of his reads off a dribble handoff, all the ways that he can attack the closeout and use ball fakes. And because of that, he's averaging double the points per game he averaged last season, still while not shooting the basketball that well. And what this shows is that he has developed all these other parts of his game, and he's gotten to a point where he doesn't have to rely on his three-point shot in order to affect a basketball game. And I hope plenty of other players other than Frankie, like Asher, like Caleb, teaching them how to not be a one-dimensional player, teaching them everything they don't know about the game so they can never be a one-dimensional player. And so if this video helped you, please drop a like on this video and subscribe to my page because I'm gonna start posting consistently. And if you're interested in working with me and personally getting help with this issue, follow me on Instagram. It will be linked in my bio. You can shoot me a DM saying the word IQ. And once you DM me, I'll talk to you a little bit about how I can help you and help you with your situation so you don't make the same mistakes that I made as a player. But thank you for watching this video and start addressing these weaknesses as soon as possible.